What's good, fellow CEOs? Welcome to the Irony of Gaming, and today we're going to be continuing on with the episode 8, the Stormbringer. So the last two episodes, it was about so Jake was tasked with looking for a specific artifact in order to create a tech level 5 weapon. They got pretty close to the trail and ended up finding it. However, they were thwarted by a mysterious person named Carlotta. Carlotta had also hired two specific people from Coffin Company, and it turned out to be Mina and Ju Shiyun. So, I mean, despite the suspicions on that, Ju Shiyun was suspicious, but Mina seemed to be a little bit, or maybe fully oblivious to the situation. Now, it turns out that Rosaria had also intervened and wanted to take a look at what the wolf looks like. She wasn't very impressed at all. But, yeah, so it seems like whatever Carlotta was planning, it seems that she's part of the same group that was trying to kill Ju Shiyun and trying to take his what was it again? The dragon blood. So now they're in the middle of the counterside and they have to try and reach the lighthouse. But it turns out that the lighthouse it turns out this lighthouse was one of the worst ones because it's a lot of frequent storms and whatnot. So we're going to be continuing on and see what happens with this, because Jake did show up, and now Jake and the Yumina and friends are pretty much teaming up to get back the artifact from Carlotta and see what's happening. So before I continue on, you guys already know the drill already. If I'm going to talk about anything spoiler related and talk about any of the substreams, I'm going to count down to 5 seconds. I'm going to say like spoiler alert, count down for 5 seconds. That's going to give you guys enough time to mute the video. And from there, once I'm done talking about what I'm talking about, I am going to rotate my mouse just like this. And that's going to give you guys the signal to unmute the video, and then we're going to continue on. Also too, I have a rule for myself where when I'm doing missions like this, I am obligated to only use units that's part of the same squad. Now sometimes I may have to use another unit that's part of a different squad that'll be called like a collaborative effort type of thing. It's rare for me to do that, especially since most of my units are like 120, so it's gonna be pretty it's not gonna be as challenging. But there are some cases where I have no choice but to do that because it really is that challenging. But as we go up ahead, in the episodes, you'll begin to see a little bit of pushback from the AI. But yeah, without further ado, let's do this. Act 3. Okay, this is Rosaria. Beyond the Dark Flame. Things is getting pretty crazy. Oh, the tribe, right. I forgot about that. But I wonder though, was his tribe still alive? Or do they exist within Rosaria's domain? Because I don't think we've ever seen Rosaria's domain in the CounterSide. Kind of like how, you know, Ray has his own domain where it's like a recreation of a kingdom and whatnot, from what they were saying before in Jushiyun's story. I wonder what Rosaria's world would have looked like. Oh man, there's so much story within this game that just wasn't explained or mentioned, or like heavily mentioned. I would have loved to see a deeper story within it, you know, or a type of substream of how it all unfolded with, you know, Rosaria meeting the Doma siblings. Into the pit. All right, let's see. All right, so we got our first mission. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? So we were using this team, right? So we're gonna use Strega. That's what we're gonna do.
다들 이쪽만 쳐다보네. 응? 날개를 안 숨겼다고요? 사용마의 부탁이면 어쩔 수 없지.
안녕, 아기 토끼들.
아차, 벌써 내 차례야?
All right, she was a ranger, right? Yep.
모두 잘 부탁해.
I'm debating what ship I should use. You know what I'm gonna do too? I think this would be really interesting as well. I may add a third I might add a third rule where depending on the situation, or I guess the atmosphere of parts of the story, or just something, I don't know, something just random, you know, I may end up, I'm not gonna say why I'm choosing these specific units, but I will have you guys figure it out on why. I think that would be really interesting. So yeah, it may involve like some really interesting characters and whatnot, but yeah, I think it would be interesting. But for now, we're gonna do this one. Yeah, let's use this.
안전벨트 매고 치.
Wait, what? Oh, I think I got disintegrated about 5 times, fighting a strange woman without a skirt. Holding 2 swords. Uh-oh. The PTSD is settling in. But you know what's really interesting? She's adding details on exactly what happened. So that means Hilde killed Queen 5 times in a row without breaking a sweat. How insane is that? That's just a fraction of Hilde's power, which is insane. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me check something. Okay. So stop explaining. I never had the training. Really? You think Shakaha was gonna change something? You are the weapons. I forgot how funny this episode was. I'm telling you, man. I wouldn't mind if they just add Mason in every single substream in every single main episode, because he just fits so well into the chaos of everything. It's a completely cool character. A roller coaster.
언니, 오빠들 잘 부탁드립니다. 근데 깃털 들어갔잖아. 바보만 잠깐.
나 불렀어.
혹시라 친구들을 부르자. 삼촌처럼 들어가. 혹시라 친구들을 부르자. 양파, 너희가 무슨 어디의 자식들이냐? 누구보다 빠르게. 순천이 여기도 저기. 확실히 집이 다른데 맞아들어. 천천히 생체. 들어가.
조심히 먹으렴.
Man, this is intense.
누구보다 빠르게. 천사이야, 나의 부름에 응해. 우리 집까지 혹시라 친구들. 저 많이 칭찬해 주실 거죠?
Uh-oh.
내 눈부신 활약 어때? 마구 칭찬해주고 싶지?
Yeah, I think we can use Strega again. Play the game because it's your duty. I guess that's a noble way of saying that. But in simpler terms is you don't have a choice. She shall not let anybody pass. Okay.
언니, 오빠들 잘 부탁드립니다. 아무데로나 타라. 도망 못 쳐.
조심히 막으렴.
막아보시지.
반대하라. 조심히 막으렴.
줄이 닫을게요.
마음껏 승리하시고
어둠의 형체조차 막아보시지. 제 탕으로. 자기부전. 확실히 집이 다리 자, 완전 무적 상태. 마력 무적 카드를 빛으로.
Oh, it took Yuna down.
자, 나 안 늦었지? 볼수 없을걸? 이런.
요약 필요하신
대천사의 이름으로 명하는
조심히 막으려.
볼수 없을걸? 친구들이
Impressive.
저 많이 칭찬해 주실 거죠?
See, this is a really interesting thing then, right? So hold on, spoiler alert. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for those of you who didn't mute the video, so this is what doesn't make sense to me, right? Is if Carlotta existed during the time of the Demon Lord Nehemoth, when he was destroying, like, you know, nation after nation and at war with the Knights of Redemption. What I don't get is when a demon, like those who were brought back to life, they're connected to the Demon Lord, and when the Demon Lord is defeated, his apostles and his army, those who are connected to him, also disappear. They vanish. They're done. It's over. At least that's the gist of it that I got. Now, if that is the case and that's true, then how is it that Carlotta remained alive? How is that possible? Because wouldn't she also disappear when Nehemoth was defeated? So it's kind of strange that she remained alive, because I think, like, when he was defeated, his knights, they were all killed as well. Like, they just instantly just stopped existing because the Demon Lord's throne was seized and he lost. Unless, what if when what if when Nayubin took the power from him, became the new Nehemoth, would any of the previous beings connected to Nehemoth still survive? Is that even possible? Or would technically a new Nehemoth would mean that, you know, it would have to be a new army or a new set of beings that is connected to a new Nehemoth, and those that are connected to the old Nehemoth would just fade away or disappear? It's something interesting to think about. stronger than the replacer queen. Interesting. You know, it's interesting too that they tend to compare previous boss battles or previous villain fights with the present villains, just to give some indication on the power scaling, which is definitely appreciated, because then you grasp the understanding of, you know, how powerful these individuals possibly are. But what they did say is that it's probably stronger than the replacer queen, but not stronger than the replacer king. Which that's a really interesting set of words that they didn't mention.
내 눈부신 활약 어때? 마구 칭찬해주고 싶지? 최적의 코스로 모시겠습니다. 그래, 마침 심심하던 참이다.
맹세를 지키기 위해서 난 싸우겠어.
늘 하던 대로 하세요. 오라버니께서 멋진 성찬을 준비해 주셨네요. 소망이 있으세요? 겁먹지 마세요. 같은 편은 잡아먹지 않아요. 손님 받을 준비 완료.
Huh? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Where is she? Oh, there it is. Okay.
이대로 독사굴에 가둘 건가? 아주 좋아. 제일 앞에서 싸우면 되지. 장비가 뻑뻑하다고 오르카가 투덜거려.
짠짠.
아니, 필요 없는 건 아니래. 요즘 변덕이 심하네. 귀여워라. 이것도 먹는 건가요?
지키기 위해서라면 검은 놓지 않겠어.
레비아의 배팅인가요? 탁월한 초이스.
더 많은 고통을 새겨 넣을 수 있다면
Top counter, which is S rank. You know, I wonder if the administrator showed up to every single one of the... Oh, you know what? Probably not. But I do wonder, like, during the start of it, of the administration within this reality world, I wonder if the administrator did contact a few of the top counters that are S grade and persuaded them to join the administration. Of course, I'm thinking that maybe it's also possible that the different sectors, they may have also had, you know, they may have also had their own decisions in choosing, you know, top counters and whatnot. But I wonder how many they actually are, you know, like how many has the administration recruited that are S grade. We've seen so many of them, but there's probably more that we have yet to discover. Because I've seen the stupid like you change the world. What could he be referring to on that? What do you guys think? Could he be talking about something specific? Or maybe multiple things that he's seen? Maybe something that we've probably even seen before. but I'm a bit scared. Uh-oh, Jake is stepping in. With the immortal core. That's interesting. But then again, I guess not when you think about it. Unofficial top counter can do. Man, Jake is something.
위험 요소 발견. 신속하게 해결하겠습니다.
다녀올게.
손목하세요.
자, 나를
관광 상품 패키지 준비 완료.
나에게 이 감각
커피 있으면 소질 없나봐요. 제가 안내해드릴게요.
이 감각
제가 안내해드릴게요. 수영, 제 안에서 새로운 형태를 갖게 될 그를 몰아
세상의
속도를 내죠.
질투를
커피 있으면 소질 없나봐요. 잘 보이나요? 잘 보이나요? 가수 거의 다 왔습니다.
Jeez, that's way too strong.
관광 가이드는 바로 나투어. 많이 이용해주세요.
Interesting. So it looks like when a replacer dies and they get when they come back as a different person, their abilities remain the same. Even their unique form of ability. I mean, I guess it would make sense too, because I mean they practically have the same body, right? Just a different restructured mind or a restructured brain. You see, this is why I suspect that the real queen is just biding her time, just slowly gathering, you know, pieces of her personality and what she is, just because of how Jaina is explaining this. Super regenerative power, same as Replacer Queen. According to my memory, I can even come back from near-death experiences. Her saying this is what truly triggered my my suspicions of maybe someday Replacer Queen would and will come back, because Replacer Queen is different from many of the replacers just because she has regenerative abilities, which means that maybe she has abilities that's even far beyond what people could imagine. That she is probably at such a deeper molecular level that there's always a possibility that the real queen could just straight up emerge from there, you know. And even and the way you can even figure this out, and the way you can suspect this too, is basically what she has said back when Maria ran into Jaina again, you know, as the Replacer Queen, and when they explained on the what's it called, the counter, not the counter, the CEO that they were fighting. I think it was like what, category 6, and or it was either I think it was like either a category, maybe a category 5, or maybe it was a category 6. It was either one. It was one of those, but it was like a rumored one where it was like, yo, what are they talking about on that? But even when she explained that, it was pretty crazy. But even with that too, right? Just in case, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for those of you who didn't mute the video, so remember, if I remember this correctly, the Replacer Queen, like, or when she was Jaina, when that powerful CEO showed up and they couldn't defeat it, so they had to go into the dimension or something like that, right? They had to go to a deeper dimension because they had to send it all the way down to the deeper depths of the CounterSide, and Jaina went there with them. The thing is, I think Jaina was cut in half, if I remember this correctly. She was cut in half and stuck to the beast, and they had to get her out. But she was able to put herself back together. That's how powerful her regenerative abilities are. So it's like, when you have a situation like that happen, there's no doubt there's no doubt in my mind that she could possibly even fight against situations like this, especially with getting killed 5 times in a row. But yeah, like with all the you know, the challenges and situations that she's faced in the past, there's no doubt in my mind that she could probably even come back even from this type of situation. How noble of you, Jaina. Yo, can you imagine how this would look in the anime? Oh man, that would be probably be brutal.
다음엔 더 봐줄 만한 녀석이면 좋겠구나.
Hollow God. Uh-oh. Ooh, burned to a crisp. Damn, he used this power so much, he burned himself. Uh-oh. Ooh. Far beyond Category 5. Or that was the intent. You know what's really interesting too? They used Yumina's blood. I guess you could say that's like a really interesting sign right there, where they used Yumina's Clyfoth factor to activate the lighthouse, and when you destroy it, this beast starts to show up. Very interesting. Similar to the power, like look at that too. Similar to Yumina's power, which was enough to cut Jaina almost into ribbons, and to also show that even Jushi-Yoon, while he was in his possibly in his awakened form, would also get killed by the sheer power of that lighthouse, using Yumina's Clyfoth factor. Insanity.
위험 요소 발견! 신속하게 해결하겠습니다. 진압되면 이상해요. 박상이는 이걸로 처리하죠. 선배님은 고객센터로.
이 감각.
다 이렇다니요. 아직 살아있잖아요. 행운의 차이를 쭉.
이 감각.
관광 상품 패턴 준비 완료. 기세를 몰아 숨소를 내죠.
Oh man.
나에게
다음 목적지에 거의 다 왔습니다.
Yikes.
관광 가이드는 바로 나초. 많이 이용해 주세요.
This thing could barely stand up to these units. Oh. I forgot about this. Oh yeah, this is Act 3 though. And she is freaking out. Oh man, yo, this is one of my favorite parts of this act. Like as soon as they were gonna go and what's it called? As soon as they were gonna go and try to help Yumina or show up to the location, Six Wings just bursts right into the Coffin Company office. Just right there to ambush them. Oh man, that was one of the most epic, most badass scenes ever. Oh man. Oh, this is so cool. Now this is something interesting right here too, right? You know, just in case, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so for those of you who didn't mute the video, so this is kind of interesting too, how they say like he always tries to avoid having to fight Lee Soo-young. And I'm not sure, I think it's because of just how the camaraderie used to be, or you know, it's always the sense where he always tries to make it to where Lee Soo-young always doesn't get in harm's way. And I think that it really started to affect him when she got injured really badly back then during the last administration failure, and she was injured, and I guess it was like maybe a traumatic type of thing for him, where he didn't want to see his comrades get injured like this. Because even when Lee Soo-young had to fight on her own, you know, in dealing with, I think it was one of the armies or whatnot, for when the Clypot Games happened, and it was to the point where she was badly wounded and she exerted a lot of power, but Na Yubin was there to rescue her and carry her over to the ship when things really got crazy. But she did a phenomenal job in buying Yumina and the rest of the team time. So it's like, it's always interesting that Na Yubin always tends to do that. And even when she wanted to go with him, he declined and said that he didn't want her to leave Hilde alone. So it's interesting things right there. It seems that no matter what side he's on, he always tries to ensure the safety of Lee Soo-young. But yeah, this is badass. This is one of the most badass scenes. I remember this. I was like, damn, yo, this is fucking awesome. And this whole 6 Wings group is here to ambush them. Oh man, this is. Oh, can you imagine how badass this would be in an anime? With this whole situation, 6 Wings just straight up attack Coffin Company just to do this battle right here. Yep, he says it again. I am the antagonist. Yeah, he has no qualms with it. He has no problem with this. Like, you want to throw down? Let's throw down. Oh man, that was one of the most epic scenes ever. Line battle. Okay, I want to try this team one more time. I thought like back then, guys, the Hollow God was a bit tough because around that time it was only at 110, so this monster was like 114, right? And back then our limit was only 110, so you had to really put in some really good gear and make sure your people were leveled up nicely to really dish some damage out to them. But nowadays, even with the 110s, I guess like it's the gear that's probably really, you know, tearing this boss to pieces. But let's see if I can switch some things up though. Oh, you know what it is too? It might be because of this as well. Let's see if we can change that up. I mean, they're all pretty powerful, right? So let's do this. If they truly are powerful, then they will not allow any harm to happen to the Captain Duck. You guys agree, right? Let's see what happens. Yeah, he burned himself up so bad. And you can see that she's really showing emotion here. Yep. Ah. A company that powerful, huh? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Multiple category 4s. Here we go.
우리 회사는 돌발 상황에 유연하게 대처합니다.
Protect the duck.
이브가 있는 이곳이 바로 낙원이랍니다.
이 정도는 부족해.
찾았다. 도망치려고요? 굴복하지 말고 발버둥 쳐봐라.
이번만큼은 실패하지 않겠어. 주성이야.
찾았다. 거짓말. 잡았다. 이 세계는 제 안에서 하나가 될 거예요. 거짓말.
이번만큼은 실패하지 않겠어.
비켜. 날아가버려. 내 놈의 신념과 함께 제가 되거라. 거기에봤자 소용없는 거죠? 담보로 받아갈게요. 찾았다. 거슬려. 아직 더 남았다고.
내 맹세가 내 전부야.
반드시 하나가 되어야만 해요. 세척에 도달아. 순리를 거스르는 바람아. 잡았다. 거슬려.
헛되고 헛된 짓이다.
손님은 관광 가이드는 바로 나초. 많이 이용해주세요.
Oh my god, that's so epic. Ooh, CounterSide effect collapsed, turning into imaginary space. So when summoning this beast, could that be the case of what happens when it shows up in the CounterSide? It just even the CounterSide has trouble containing such a monster. Now, if that is the case, there is another interesting theory as well. But then again, there might be a specific reason why that other situation ended up happening and why that world didn't collapse. Okay. On one condition: that radiates highly dense corruption ray, so dense that it could impact the fabric of dimension itself. Just in case, spoiler alert. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, for those of you who didn't mute the video, so the other world that I'm thinking of is the world that Solavi was born in, which was the world that Pavlin created with her own power rather than using Hilde's power, right? Now, the interesting thing about this is I'm guessing it would depend on the antagonist's power, that maybe the antagonist has that ability to, offset it or cancel it out. Because if that is the case, we know that Pavlin was lost in the CounterSide, right? Because she failed to protect the world, so she's stuck there. But she used her own power and generated, generated it enough to bring us a small patch of that world to life. But when she becomes a hollow god, theoretically, the entire world is the entire CounterSide world of that area should have collapsed. So maybe it's different where, I don't know, maybe there's like specific levels to the CounterSide effect, or not a CounterSide effect, but the specific levels of the CounterSide area where some parts are weaker than others, and the weaker ones just tend to collapse and turn into imaginary space. Or maybe that's what the CounterSide is. Like, in a way, the CounterSide is there, but it's not always eternal, that eventually it will collapse and turn into imaginary space, which would also ensure that the complete destruction of, basically existence in general. I never really thought about it like this until, like looking through all the episodes and all the substreams of them explaining what the CounterSide effect is, and especially looking through episode 15. But now when I'm going back here and rereading this part, it really seems like that's the ultimate end, like the ultimate fate of the CounterSide effect. We don't know like the true lifespan of the CounterSide world, but this could be a really good indication of what would eventually end up happening. Is that, the CounterSide will eventually become the imaginary space, and maybe that's what the imaginary space is in general. Is that it's the final stage of the CounterSide's life cycle, its lifespan. But also too, this could be another theory that maybe summoning, actually summoning a hollow god to the CounterSide world could also cause a devastating collapse, which would then just turn it into imaginary space. And there may be another case too, that maybe the hollow god has that type of ability to create imaginary space when it uses its ultimate attack. So there's a few ideas to that. So one of them might be true, none of them might be, or maybe all of them are true, depending on the situation and the circumstances. It's really interesting stuff. I like this theme song. It's so badass. A mathematical hypothesis, huh? You know what's really interesting about this? I think this was around the time. This might have been around the time where in real life the world ended up understanding that Einstein's theory, I think it was Einstein's theory on black holes, or it was either Einstein or maybe Stephen Hawking. It was one of the two, but I think it is Einstein. But on that day, I think on the day of, like, around that year that this was released, or maybe like a couple months after, you know, a couple of months before this was released, or maybe a couple of months after. Yeah, it's definitely before this was released. I think that the theory of black holes were proven to be made true, that they actually do exist, and they had the first actual picture of a black hole, and that the theory that he had turned out to be exactly true. But I think that later on over the years, there were some more interesting things about the black hole that, you know, it had to debunk a few things and also strengthen there were specific things that made the hypothesis true, or the theory true. So it's pretty interesting seeing this here. I could be wrong, and maybe this is just, you know, it's just probably in the story, just to be in the story like that. But also too, it could be like a reference of around that time when this was released. It's interesting times back then. When they were actually observed. I really do think it was around this time when it was like not too long ago where we actually were able to prove that black holes do exist.
다음엔 더 봐줄 만한 녀석이면 좋겠구나.
All right. We are flying through this. The turnaround. Okay, so let's see. I kind of want to keep this team. Let's copy it. We gotta paste that.
이번 녀석은 좀 더 즐겁게 해주겠지?
I think I have another idea. Let's see, what do I want to do? You know what? I'm gonna... I think this is interesting. We can keep that, and I wonder what. Ooh, okay. I have an idea. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Okay. I wonder if there's enough of them though. Let's see. Yeah, technically that is true. Yeah, that is true. Wait until you see this one. If you guys know, you know. For those of you who are veterans. I think, yeah, I think so. I think that would be enough. I think that'll be enough. Okay.
늘 하던 대로 하세요.
맹세를 지키기 위해서 난 싸우겠어.
시무흡.
오데트에게는 들러리가 필요한 법이죠.
There is one more. At least that we know of. Come on, I know they're here. Where are they?
좋아, 특별히 도와주겠어.
Okay, I think that might be it. Oh man, it's a shame too. I wish they gave this unit like a rearm or like maybe like an awakening or something. You know, you know. Badass different form and whatnot. I get the feeling like I'm missing someone else, but wait a minute. if I remember correctly, was it? Oh man, I'm not sure. 'Cause it's been a while since I think it is, but technically it's not, but I would have to look back. But you know what? I do want to choose it though. I'm gonna choose her.
악을 발견하셨나요? 걱정 마세요. 성황청의 지원만으로 충분하니까.
What's this? Nibble.
좋은 물건이네. 내 실력만큼은 아니지만.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see what will happen.
안전벨트 매고 출동!
Oh, there's no ranger. Wait.
최적의 코스로 모시겠습니다.
If you know, you know. Yep, they too busy fighting six wings. Ooh, I forgot she does that. I forgot she shows up here. Awesome design.
우리 회사는 돌발 상황에 유연하게 대처합니다.
이 맺어지는 순간에 결국 모든 걸 바꿀 거예요.
시끄럽군요. 조용하게 만들어드리죠. 성공했어? 이대로 돌격!
하객석이 소란스럽군요.
적당히는 이걸로 처리하세요.
피운다.
제법인데요?
발입니다. 비키세요.
배가 좀
도끼를
쳐보세요.
어느 정도죠?
다음 목적지에 거의 다 왔습니다.
싸우겠어. 그 맹세를 위해서라면.
Oh man, they're too strong.
자, 승리! 목표 지역과
I mean, she is a. I think she is a grade S. She might be a grade S counter. Uh-oh.
이걸로 어떤 게 더 바뀌었을까요? 좋은 결과 있으셨길 바라죠.
Fight together. Wait a minute. What is? Okay. I think it's the 4-4. Okay. That was interesting. Okay, who else should we use? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna use Delta 7. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use Delta 7.
가지, 제군들.
Actually, wait a minute. Curious about this. Okay, cool. So it does include them. Okay. Got it.
보좌에 최선을 다하겠습니다.
근육근육한 아저씨들이랑 두지 마. 숨 막혀.
Oops.
쓸만한 녀석들이면 좋겠네.
Wrong Jaina.
아, 이거요. 배고플 때 마실
Do I have a skin
물이랍니다.
of this character? Now I do.
저 안녕하세요. 갑작스럽지만 우유 홍보대사로 선발되었는데 사장님도
Holy
델타
shit.
밀크 한 병 드릴까요? 헉! 어쩌지? 깨져버렸네.
Wow. Fantastic. Alright,
이것도 촬영 소품인가요?
I think she's skill haste.
오, 좋은 장비 쓰네.
Uh-oh.
훌륭한 장비야말로 승리로 가는 지름길입니다.
최신식이군. 익숙해져 드는 편이 좋겠지.
안전벨트 매고 출동!
Alright, let's see what happens. You know what's funny? I was thinking about using Alpha Tricks, and then all of a sudden shit just shows up. What are the odds of that? Scanning the body, scanning her competition. Man, oh man. What an interesting character the administrator is. Oh, you know what? You know what? We can make this interesting, right? So, Shinja sees Yumina as a competitor, right? So, what do you guys think is the other competitor to Yumina? But only based off of the subject that Shinja had just mentioned. That Shinja said that maybe she has a chance. I have one person in mind who kind of thinks like that as well. But I think that hers is subtle, but you can see her reaction when it comes to specific people, especially the hint that I could give you too is that she did have an encounter with Shinja and got a little annoyed of Shinja. Because I guess you could say too that she kind of sees Shinja as a competitor as well. Like how she views Yumina as a competitor. So that's a hint right there. Oh. Emmy Male. Just in case. Spoiler alert. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, Camiel, right? Could that be like now at the time of this episode? We didn't know who. I don't think we knew who Yumina's sister's name was, right? Or basically, well, you know, if you guys are aware with the episode 15, Yumina basically I guess you could say the alter ego, or the alter ego basically of, you know, Yumina's sister. Or in a way you could just say that, you know, Tamel, right? Which you could say that it's not really a confusing thing, but it's like, you know, Yumina being the alter ego of Tamel. So could it have been like had something to do with Tamel's involvement that could have like a specific name right here? And could that have been like a little hint right there of saying Camiel, which could be in a reference to Tamel? But maybe I'm looking a little too deep into that. But yeah, it's just interesting that seeing that there, and maybe that could have led to the, you know, the little hint at the end of it of who Yumina's sister is and what her name is and whatnot. Universal laws does not apply outside of space and time, right? But you know what? It kind of makes you think, though, that maybe the Hollow Gods doesn't come from actually, you know what? No, never mind. That's been debunked. Never mind. The Immortal System Core that the Replacers used was an inferior copy of the Hollow Gods. It's really cool that they bring back the Replacers' intent even this far into the episode. is that everything they've done has always had some type of connection or meaning to something even greater. Phenomenal work on, you know, connecting timelines and whatnot to it. So even hollow gods have infinite energy. That's pretty cool. Virtually impossible to destroy their core. The Immortal System core is top secret. Oh, you know what's funny? Hold on, wait a minute. Some illogical means and stab the moon in the sky. Hold up. Okay. Hold on. Spoiler alert. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for those of you who didn't view the video, so it's kind of funny that she mentions this line by she's saying, like, you know, the two surfaces theory right here, and she says use some very illogical means and stab the moon in the sky. So wasn't there like a similar type of thing that happened within the illusion world that Swan ended up using? And when she kidnapped Noelle, and she put Noelle literally on the moon, but the imaginary section of the moon, and Yumina, she ended up like seeing exactly where the moon was, and I guess you could say like she kind of slashed at it to go through a dimension, to break through, to go straight towards the moon area where the theater was placed at. So I guess like this could have been one of their first hints, hidden way back in the story. And if that is the case and that theory is true, that's pretty cool. That's amazing that they did that, because they knew from the start exactly what was going to happen, what Mina was going to end up having to do and facing, you know, another foe like Swan, or like facing her world and whatnot. That was pretty cool. It all connects, you know. It all connects. Your sword can cut down gods. Tech level unknown. Really? So it is not a... Huh. Rereading this again. This is cool. Tech level unknown artifact. Wolf's Bane. So Wolf's Bane is... There is no category level. It's above the tech level 5. You know what I wonder too? That the Mistletoe. What if the Mistletoe is also... Like, if it were to ever reach its full form or whatnot, would it be considered, you know, another unknown artifact beyond tech level 5? Because I think they said something about that before, where it was a tech level 5, but maybe because it was missing its core, that it just reverts to that. But what happens when you give it its core or something? Would it be a level? Would it be higher than tech level 5? That's it. That would be something interesting. Or even the, you know, the weapon. Actually, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna do this again. Sorry about that. Spoiler alert. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for those of you that didn't mute the video, I wasn't expecting seeing a whole bunch of things like this before. Like, I wasn't expecting episode 8 to be like this, where it has so much to discuss. But so I'm thinking that maybe, like, so back in the substream episodes, where during the Burnett Never Dies, there was an episode where in that section of the episode, Elizabeth explains that there are specific artifact weapons that are really strong enough to go. They're strong enough meant to go up against a demon lord. That's what it's meant to be. I guess you could say they're like meant to be rivals. Like the wielders are meant to be like rivals to demon lords. So that also gave an indication that maybe, possibly, that, you know, Yumina wasn't supposed to be the only one to start killing all the demon lords, even as a wolf. That if I remember this correctly, that there's a possibility that there could be. The game didn't say it, and the story didn't really say it, but it kind of gave a possible thought that maybe there could be multiple wolves based off of the unknown artifact weapons that the wielders get, because they seem to be one of the ancient artifacts, just like the Wolf's Bane, and there's only 4 of them. There's only 4 of them. So there's the Wolf's Bane, the Mistletoe, the Fire Staff that Yuna has that transforms her into the Awakened, the adult version of herself, and the shield that can generate infinite chains, which is Roy Burnett's weapon, the SSR version of him. So these 4 weapons, I'm thinking that maybe their tech level weapon is probably an unknown artifact as well, which probably gives an indication that these are the 4 artifacts that are capable of killing hollow gods. Maybe not the angel ones, like we experienced during the omens, but definitely capable of possibly destroying hollow gods. But who knows? Maybe it can even go beyond that if the wielder is ready and, you know, unlocks his true potential. So that's interesting. Man, it's like so much stuff that they're throwing at us, man. It's amazing how well connected this is. It is random coming out of nowhere. Does she explain how she got this information? Yet you don't have time to find another way, do you? Does she ever say anything about this? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that maybe, possibly, she probably got this information from the administrator. Like one of those classic stuff. Man, she is so epic.
오빠, 우리 힘내봐요.
가해몽 출격합니다.
전한대 신호 전까지 대기해라.
방어는 막아주십시오.
취약점 파악 완료.
이번엔 무리하지 않겠습니다.
정전입니다. 물놀이
회각을
너희를
거두지.
날려드릴 카라.
중력파 임계점보다 방출 실시.
나아가는 건 자네들 몫이야. 난 단지 길을 열.
네네, 얌전히 계세요.
정전 완료.
발사 권한 탈취 성공. 좌표 입력 완료. 그럼
예상들이 들어가세요.
전력으로 맞서겠어.
Oh, Venus shows up in this.
진변하는 카라. 정신 차리겠습니다.
작전대로 여기서 적을 섬멸한다.
저도 이제 어쩔 수 없어요.
보여주지.
저들이 두려워해야 할 건 고작 카운터 한 명이 아니지.
거기까지. 이걸로 끝을 내주지. 완전 동작이에요. 상적. 이거는 경이죠. 자,
예상대로
맛을 보세요. 인간함을 떨어뜨릴게요. 끝을 내주지. 다시 한 번 더 갈게요. 친구들을 기르자.
회각을 거두라.
중요한 점 맞고 갈게요.
Oh man.
많이 칭찬해
That was
주실
a close
거죠?
one.
또다시 새로운 기록을 세웠군. 자랑스러워해도 좋아.
All right, here we go. Man of Storm. Actually, hold on. All right.
강하다고 살아남는 게 아니야. 짜릿하게 놀아볼까?
Oh, you know what? I got an idea on something. Hold on, I have an idea on something. Hold on. I'm gonna cancel this real quick.
오빠들 잘 부.
Hold on. I got an idea on something. I don't even know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it out. this is where it first happens. When they introduce Alternium. So this might be in the timeline. This would be around after the Horizon situation. Man, she doesn't mince any words. A mercenary and soldier working together. It looks like he's all healed up too, being a grade S and a counter. So it looks like even though he was burned up, it seems that his body was healing quite nicely. It just heals pretty fast. It might be because too he's not just a counter but a high grade counter, and maybe the higher the grade, maybe the better the healing of wounds. Question mark. Oh, let me check something real quick. All right, awesome. And there he is. There you go. There's the cool scene right there. That is a pretty cool one though. Oh, that's cool. Output infinite. All right, let's go.
우리 힘내봐요.
자, 가볼까?
진격할 시간이다. 제군들.
나도 해낼 수 있어.
진입할 거다.
여기도 저기도 전부 저희 땅이에요.
한계냐?
나도 해낼 수 있어.
보여주지. 한계를 넘어 보실까?
나도 해낼 수 있어.
언니 여러분들에게
방법도 후지 마라. 굉장히 부족이고.
저 많이
So
칭찬해
much
주실
power.
거죠?
Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. This is a cool art right here too. And that's fantastic. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
말했잖아. 혼자가 아니라고.
Ooh. You know, it's really weird though. Why did she do that? Very strange that she saved Jushion. Or maybe was this an opportunity for her to see if Mina was capable of doing this? I wonder too that if Mina failed, would Rosaria have kept Jushion alive? Or would she just have, she just probably just kill him right then and there. And that's the first indication right there, a first demonstration on how powerful Rosaria is. A single hit. You know, just in case, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, despite everything that has happened, and even with episode 15, I am glad that she didn't die. I'm glad she didn't. I'm glad, like, you know, she got defeated and whatnot. Because I was like, man, what a true tragedy right there for you know, a sort of final battle right there against Hilde, and still lost. Hilde is she's just in a whole league of her own, man. Even though she's even when she's an apostle, and she's still this powerful. Like, apostle to Tamil is just a different type of. That's just a whole nother different level. Like, probably even beyond Demon Lord at this point. In Hilde's case, you know. How'd she manage to escape? Unless when they found out that they were dead. Actually, hold on, let me see. Uh-oh. She might know. She might have an idea of what happened. Oh, man. The whole system stops so he can't move. Can you imagine that? Like, he just has his hand on his glasses like that, just in a forever pose. Oh man, the humor. Uh-oh, barely to the rules. You know, I think in this scene, it was a little too quick on this. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Other than that, it was an okay execution on how she just, you know, did that. But I think that they could have, like, in a few of the other acts, they could have, you know, added a bit more resentment and seething for Carlotta, which would then lead to this big build-up, you know? Or maybe just add a little bit more, like, you know, she questions it a bit more and whatnot. But other than that, it was fine. That's interesting artwork. You know, I do wonder though, are these all his apostles? Which probably explains why they're so strong. You know what? You know what's really interesting about this? Actually, hold on. Spoiler alert: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So for those of you who didn't mute the video, you know what I'm starting to realize now from this is that viewing the order of things that that Alan, Lucretia, and Clarith or Carlotta is saying, and Clarith. Well, not Clarith, but these four people here. Well, three. Alan, Lucretia, and Carlotta. The order of things, meeting up with Hilde, witnessing sacrifice, saving the world, and then killing a god. It kind of seems like these rules were based off of the life of Tamael, when it was just Tamael, Hilde, and the administrator. And it kind of seems like Tamael, like these things that happened, Tamael experienced this in order, and those order of things is what caused her to become what she is now and start this whole entire thing. So, and then when creating Mina as the alter ego, basically is an extension of herself. So since she's an extension of herself, she's putting Mina through these same trials that she had once had to face. But for her, it wasn't a trial, but more of, what's the word that I'm looking for? More of how her life was, and maybe the tragedies and traumas that she had to face, and maybe even just the path that she was just walking. I mean, if you wanted to explain, like, if you wanted to get a little deeper into this, like, I guess you could say the sacrifices was based off of the people that did die, based off what she saw in the Great Beyond area, from what she saw in her dreams, and that darkness that she saw that's coming to end everything, from what she had mentioned before. Maybe that's what led to all the sacrifices and the CEOs and whatnot. And then, meeting up with Hilde. I guess, like, she was the one who basically who trained Hilde, possibly, right? Considering how Hilde is her Tamael's apostle, that could be the case, or maybe maybe it could be the other way around. But I think yeah, maybe it was, possibly Tamael. Tamael is the one that probably trained Hilde. Maybe they didn't really get too much into details in that with the episode 15, but even the friends that she's met, and possibly, we're not sure. We're not really sure what world she was saving or the people she was saving. Maybe it was probably through the dreams that she was able to probably save a few lives or a few world disasters. But then something must have shown up where she did fight and she did kill a god. But maybe killing that specific god is what triggered a whole mess of events. Oh man, if only there was more, like they had really put out more information about this, and created a substream, or even maybe creating like future content of anime, or maybe a future visual novel or something that explains Tamael's history. I would love to look into that, if they ever were to release that or create that. That would be interesting. But those steps are really something. And the Clivoth games begin. There it is. To mail. Episode 8 was pretty awesome. That was pretty cool. Oh, look. Nice. That was pretty cool. A really awesome episode. Pretty epic. A lot of badass scenes that happened here. Yeah, you know, there was a lot. There was just a lot of references and a lot of information that was to discuss on here. There was a lot to discuss about this. It was actually pretty surprising. I wasn't expecting episode 8 to have this much information, this much references. It's just wow. It was insane. Really awesome. But before I end it, we're not going to do the PvP for this, but we're going to do something a little different. So, since this is the episode for Jake, we might as well roll, see if we can get a copy, extra copy of Jake. So let's see what happens.
조디악 나이츠의 전갈 피오네 루엘이 참전하겠습니다.
Alright, hopefully we don't pity.
기사단의 금지에 걸맞은 무훈을 보여드리죠. 악당은 아닌 것 같으니까 이 오세롬이 같이 싸워줄게. 아참, 난 알파트릭스 소속이야. 일단 기억해둬.
Oh, we got him. We got him.
조디악 나이츠의 전
I think we got him.
주방 담당
Because it was orange light too.
조디악 나이츠의 전갈.
There we go. We got him.
후원 요청 접수 완료. 골칫거리들이 있는 좌표를 알려주시죠.
Nice.
먹어.
클로디아 넬슨. 헬로. 에이미.
Nice. We got Jake. You know what? We probably could try for another one though. How many copies does? You think we should go for 6 copies? How many copies do we have so far of Jake? Ooh. Okay, so we got 2 copies, but now we have a third one, right? So we need 3 more copies. You know what? Let's see if we can get 3 copies of them. Let's see how lucky we can get. I mean, we're playing a theme song too. We just finished his awakening story. I mean, what more luck could you have, right? Let's see what happens. Oh, the robot. I don't know if we got him.
하트베리의 차기이다.
Oh, Lumi. Got another
조디악 나이츠의
Lumi.
견습단. 안녕. 안녕하세요.
선봉은 저희에게 맡기. 라이언 테리어. 먹어.
신참 카운터. 클로디아 넬슨. 안녕하세요.
Okay, so we just got Lumi. Oh, I don't think we got him.
안녕하세요.
Yeah, we got Nayubin. Okay.
안녕.
조디악 나이츠의 견습단원
Let's do this.
양한석입니다.
Alright, so
선배님들께
we got
부럽지 않은
Nayubin.
후배가 되도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
Uh-oh. We're close to pity. Oh.
수학의 마녀 한솔입니다. 안녕하세요. 신디 루퍼야.
Ooh, Lambda.
조니 앤 멜로니의 대표.
Okay. So we got another Lambda. Oh. I'm not sure we got him.
대침식전에선
Ooh, Shinja. Okay. I think that's my last copy of Shinja too.
알파트렉스 이노베이션의 리더 신지아라고 해요. 갑작스러우시겠지만 저와 친구가 되어주시면 안...
Uh-oh. Getting close to pity. Ooh.
오피셜 서포트의 기억 주방 담당 리코
What we get?
수학의 마녀 수학의 마녀 바티칸 구마의 수소
Ooh, Nicole. Okay. Okay, we got two more. Well, looks like that's pity. That's the first pity. That's the first pity. Alright, so... Okay, so we got one... Alright, so we got another copy, so we need two more copies. Oh, man. These rolls are brutal. Oh. Oh, we got another one. Oh, we got another one.
에이미 안녕 신디 루퍼야 수학의 마녀
조디악 나이츠의 견습단
대침식전에선
Let's go. Alright, so we need one more. So we pitied once. So let's see. Oh, could this be it? Nah, that's not it.
조디악 나이츠의 견습단
주방 담당 리코
조디악 나이츠의 견습
Ooh, we got another Titan though. That's cool.
전장에 도착했다. 인류를 위협하는 적들은 어디 있지? 내가
Yikes. They are really making us work for this, huh? Oh. No, not it.
헬로
Oh, okay. Morgana. Not bad. Oh, the game might make us pity again. Oh! Let's go, we got it. Got the last copy.
조진이라고 합니다. 헬로 에이
후원 요청
Let's
접수 완료.
go.
골칫거리들이 있는
조디악 나이츠의 전갈.
클로디아 네스
Now we might get a second SSR if we're lucky.
헬로 에이
Okay, yep. Alright. Let's go over to Jake. Jake. Oh, there we go. Alright, Jake is now complete. And I think they give us a mission too, right? To complete it. Oh yeah, trophy. Nice. Oh, get a title too. Was that Thunder? You know, I do wonder though. Does like is the title like really customizable one? It's like one of those custom ones where it's like animated. It's Hear That Thunder, and then there's another one. Pure as a doll. Oh, look at that. Pure as a doll. Oh, that's a nice one right there. Oh, right. The Jake thing. Got the Colonel. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, nice. That's cool. Guarding the World. So, all right. So I had Hilde. I got Nayubin's, and then Jake's, and then Annapolis. Because I have a full perfect Annapolis. All right, nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed the rolls right there. I wanted to do something a bit more special for you guys on that. You know, in the coming episodes, we're gonna be, you know, doing more of this. We're gonna see if we can just try and completely max out the tactical updates of all the Awakens if possible. And yeah, we'll see what wacky rolls we get. But yeah, that'll be it for this. It's like episode 8 was pretty cool. It was a really cool one right there. And but yeah, so you know, feel free to check out the playlist. I'm gonna be storing these videos there, so if you ever wanted to go back and see them, it'll be right there in the playlist section of the channel for you to check out. I also have a few other games that I'm working on adding into the library of the channel. I've already finished up Resident Evil 0, and I am pretty close to possibly beating Resident Evil 1, the classic version. So I am like sort of almost done finishing that. There were a lot of there's a lot of missing things with, you know, compared to the remake version and the classic version of that. So it's pretty interesting seeing that happen. But yeah, we're gonna be going through a lot of those, and we're going to be in the next coming weeks too. You're gonna be seeing a lot of the CounterSide you know, recap videos coming through from there. So we're almost done reaching the, you know, reaching up the main episodes and whatnot. Because you know, a few of the other ones I've already recorded them already and had uploaded them a long time ago. So you'll start to see the order of things on that. But yeah, you know, I got a link to the other channels as well if you want to check those out. The Irony of Gaming Shorts and the music channel that I have as well. So you can feel free to check that out. But yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Catch you later.